how did you guys get this to market? How did you tell the world about this, NFT Pokemon card drop, and kind of what happened after?
It was very organic, all on socials, all on the crypto Twitter at the time, where we started with the concept. It was a novel idea, like Pokemon card on the blockchain. It's something new. It's something different. We were very lucky to find our now 3D modeling person. So all the cards look like an exact replica of the card that we have in the vault, but they look much better. It's like a 3D model that's like turning and so on. It looks more than an image, because I always thought of like, if it's a digital representation, it needs to look better than a photo. So we had a lot of like really, really interesting content that could potentially go viral. And it organically grew. We did a few growth hacks, and we ended up with the Discord with like 10,000 people at some point. So that's really how like it was at the right time as well. So I like to say that if we did the exact same thing today, it would probably not have worked, because there's a time, like, no, everything's about AI. There is a time and a place, and I believe like timing is very important, and timing, especially for like you need to find the right industry, but something different within that industry, because same when live shopping was happening, Whatnot blew it up. So many companies try to do the same as Whatnot, but it works already. So it's very hard to do something different and something that innovates there.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of founders need to look at. And you kind of make it sound like it was so easy to do. Oh, a couple of growth hacks, but there's a lot of execution and strategy that kind of goes into making sure you're getting to the right audiences and so on. So I don't necessarily want to like make it sound like it was super casual.
It was not easy at all. It was not easy at all. It was a lot of grinding, a lot of like. We took some time before having users, right? Like I remember we were grinding days and days and days. And so like suddenly one day our Discord went from like 600 users to like 5,000 in one day. Because one thing happened and it really like it's all about, I believe, setting the conditions so that you can potentially have that, like you cannot force that like lightning that you need to happen, but you can set all the condition in order to make it happen basically. And then it needs to happen. Yeah.
And then to be ideally ready for when it does happen, so you can capitalize on it. But so let's kind of fast forward from this point. You guys go viral. You sell out in 2 days. I guess kind of talk us through, if you can, like what was kind of the revenue growth at that point, and then what'd you guys do for capitalizing the business from there on out? And did you pay back your friends the $500?
I did pay him back. So funny enough, before we sold out, so it took actually quite a bit of time to set up all the processes with Brinks, like signing the deal. We got an exclusive deal. They ended up investing in us. So this took quite a bit of time. We entered before that, I believe like 4 months before actually selling out and having like the exact concept done. We ended up going to an incubator, Y Combinator, which helped a lot. And we ended up raising quite a bit of money. We didn't close the round before that, but before the actual sale of it. So we had a lot of hype. We didn't actually have revenue until, I believe, 3 weeks before the end of YC, where we did the drop and sold out there. So, yeah.
Okay. So you got into YC first, then you guys did the drop. And so there's probably a lot of momentum just from the YC network in and of itself probably helped in terms of more exposure, strategy, and growth hacks, things of that sort. Would you say that's accurate?
I think what YC did, it brought us on the map for investors. So I had a lot of investors reaching out to us. I think we have something different because it was a new area and everybody thinks it makes sense to link it to physical assets. But nobody had a really key strategy for the operation piece. And because we had this exclusive partnership with Brinks, that put us a bit different than the rest of the population. And we had a good team and so on. So that's I believe, why we entered the space and we went to YC there. But it really gave us a lot of exposure when it comes to investors reaching out to us and learning about what we're doing.
Gotcha. And then how quickly after the drop and kind of that, sellout day, did you guys go out and raise money, and kind of what was the strategy? What did you guys think about when it came to how much money to raise, who to raise from? You guys are in a hot space, doing something unique. So lots of attention on you. How did you approach it, and what was your strategy?
So prior to the drop, we were like a lot of people reaching out to us. I think we had a very different experience than a lot of founders in that space because it was the hottest subject, something new in that with a team that has something a bit different than the other. And they saw it as like the biggest, like a really huge potential. So we raised quite a bit before that. So we actually raised 3.5 million before actually dropping the revenue. How we did is really trying to optimize for the right people that were going to help us. And so talking to different VCs and so on. And after the drop, we talked to larger funds, like multi-stage funds, and ended up going with NEA. We thought we were good with 3.5 million, but we were expecting to have like a crash in the crypto because the moment was not right now with the economy and everything at the time. Was in March last year. And so we ended up raising 3.5 million more, which ended up raising like $7 million in total.